Hey everybody, and welcome to AniBreak, the show that breaks down the week's hottest topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and this week we're going to start off with some announcements of the continuation of not one, but two series that, well, one I didn't think it needed a sequel, and another one I'm glad is actually getting it. And let's start with the first one, actually. This picture was just tweeted just the other day on an official Twitter account for Gargantia on the Verdos planet. Basically, what's going on here is they made the announcement that a sequel is in the works. We have a green light for a season 2. Now, I thought the first season, now I guess it was the series before, actually wrapped up fairly nicely. But the fact we are going to get a second season, oh, the possibilities. Really good animation. Let's just hope. Oh, what was it? There was in the series, the first season, episode, I think it was 5, where the main character had to go around the ship, and unfortunately was chased by some very flamboyant individuals. Let's call it that, flamboyant. I have a sinking suspicion that they will probably make a return in this sequel. Now, we have no idea whether or not this is going to be a second season, if this is going to be an OVA, maybe even a feature film. I'm kind of hoping for a second season, because if it's an OVA or a feature film, it's either a rehash or something that does not have to deal with the canon of the series. So that's my hope. A second season. The other series that made an announcement that they actually have a new, I guess you can call it a continuation in production. Let me just show you this quick picture. Oh, that's not it, actually. You can see that. Kotobuki is actually showcasing that they're going to be releasing the entire Negima series on their ebooks website. I want to showcase this one, actually. This is the official page for Strike Witches, and it made the announcement on their official page that not only is a third TV series in the works, but also an OVA. I thought we were like over and done with Strike Witches, given the fact that this series already has a quote-unquote spiritual successor already. But never let it be said that, fanboys and girls, can't shout loud enough for a continuation of their favorite franchise. So yes, we know that there's a new OVA and a third season in the works. No idea when this is coming out. No idea how it's going to be, released. I'm quite sure that it will eventually be released in the States, considering the first 2 seasons were, and also the spiritual successor was released, streamed via Crunchyroll. So you never know what's going to happen with these. Who knows? It could be they might add a crossover bit to it, because that seems to be all the rage right now, is the crossover. You can get that all the time in manga. In anime, it's a little more on the rare side, but given you have Vivid Jet Operation and Strike Witches, which are visually similar, they could probably set it up so that both series can do like an OVA crossover. That'd be kind of cool. But enough about that. I actually want to showcase a video. It's a trailer for a series we talked about before. It looks interesting. It's by Production IG. This has the significance of being fully hand drawn, which I like. Not because not only because it offers a nice feel, like a nice analog feel to it, rather than what you get from nice CG animation, but it just said that the hand drawn animation is now a feature. It's not a standard bit, because everything is going digital. We talked about last week that the last cell hand drawn animated series that's been going on since the 60s, this month is actually switching over to digital production, so it's all digital. I'm glad to see companies like Production IG still offering these hand-drawn features in a world of digital. Just that's a nice thing to carry on. But you should check this out. This is called The Island of Giovanni. Gives you a quick taste of what to expect from this movie. there's some actually really good people behind this. We've already talked about the fact that it's Production IG who's handling all the production. It is hand-drawn animation. The feature film is actually directed by a man named Mizuho Nishikubo, who is actually a very long-time collaborator of the famed Mamoru Oshii. So you already have that quality right there. You have people who wrote the script who worked on Kita no Kuni Ikara, also Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, so they have that bit in there. It's going to take place in about the mid-40s in an island between Russia and Japan. And I'm already getting feelings, a feel of... there's a couple other movies that have this same idea, the same feel to it. If it's anything like these others, it's going to be a tearjerker. So it's one of those that I'll have to watch alone because, yeah, we don't see stuff like this in theaters. Who knows? It's going to be a while before anybody sees this, to be honest, because it's not going to be released in Japan until next February. And given the fact that Production IG has already made the announcement that they are working on international sales, it's practically a guarantee we're going to get this in the States. Does that mean in theaters? Does that mean just DVD and Blu-ray release? Who knows? A little side note, the director of this series, like I mentioned, actually directed a short bit that Production IG released last year with Mercedes-Benz, showcasing the next A-Class, which was actually a hell of a lot of fun, where you have these three characters in the new Mercedes A-Class chasing down the mythical ramen truck. It's absolute blast. You should watch it. It's well worth the 6 minutes of your time. So, Aniplex USA, we've made the announcement on Sunday's episode of From Another's Basement that the third movie in the Monica movie trilogy, titled Rebellion, is coming to US theaters, and it's going to be a lot of places, well over 40 different places all over the United States. I'm seeing places from Kansas City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, Buffalo, Tulsa, Oklahoma, everywhere. So you have a really good chance of seeing this one in theaters. You do have some time to buy your tickets, although the longer you wait, the more of a chance it's going to be sold out. I found that out earlier today, because there's going to be a premiere of this movie actually in Los Angeles at the Egyptian Theater. And it was kind of odd that I looked online yesterday and it was $40 a ticket. I can't remember the last time I paid $40 for a ticket to go see a movie in the theater. And when I finally got around to thinking, I'll go see it anyways, it's a premiere, it should be entertaining, it was already sold out. So I guess fortune favors those who do not wait. But for those of you who were like me and could not get tickets to the premiere, it is going to be shown for several days, actually, down the street at the Downtown Independent, also in Los Angeles. And honestly, it's also $15. So $40, $15. So I'll be at the Downtown Independent probably on the first day, which is Friday, December 6th, probably for the first showing at 4 p.m. I hope to see you guys there. If you guys post on my Facebook and Twitter account that you will be there, maybe we'll set up some sort of post-screening meetup. Okay. Now, you guys remember a little, I guess OVA is the best way to call it, that took America by storm just a few months ago, called Little Witch Academia. The first one got huge praise. The Kickstarter took off like a rocket and never stopped. So we were actually going to get a sequel to that little OVA. But Little Witch Academia actually came from something in Japan called Anime Mirai. What this is, it's a project sponsored by the Japanese government, where they'll take 3 or 4 shorts, ideas that are approved a year before, and the studios producing these with the funds from the government actually use this to train the next generation of animators, production assistants, etc., to keep the anime industry alive, which is really cool. So there were 18 proposals for next year's Anime Mirai, and the finalists have already been announced. There's going to be 4 for next year. We're going to go through them real quick. The first one is actually called Harmony, and this one looks kind of interesting. The idea behind it, it looks like slice of life. bit. You had the director who worked on Patima Inverted, which just recently came out in Japan. Also, the Time of Eve OVA / movie. So to work underneath that person would just be amazing. The summary title they say is "Making connections in a classroom full of students isn't as simple as it sounds." Okay, that's kind of an understatement there. This next one, more of a childish feel to it, but I think that's perfectly just fine. This one is actually called, the translation for it is "A big first-year student and a small second-year student." A small girl takes her big but timid friends for a walk into the Iponsugi forest looking for a bellflower. You have Ayumu Watanabe, who's going to be directing this little bit, and he's worked on not only Mysterious Girlfriend X, but also the long-running and very popular Space Brothers series. A1 Pictures is handily in this, so if you enjoy Space Brothers, Magi, Sword Art Online, you have an idea of what to expect from this one. It's definitely something that has potential of being entertaining. Nothing really in depth, but honestly, does it really need to be? The next one is actually this should be interesting. This one is called Paroro and the Future Island. This is going to be about the strange creatures living on a remote island whose isolation is broken when curiosity inspires the younger members to seek out the human world. I'm getting a sense of some uniqueness to this one, considering the production crew behind this one, like the character designer Yoshimichi Kameda, who worked on Eva 3.0. You have people who've worked on Doraemon, Mirai Nikki, Shin-chan, Valkyria Chronicles. It could easily start off as a children's feel. It can easily go as dark as they want. But the fourth one actually has has piqued my interest the most. And this one's called Kuro no Sumika, or also known as Chronos. This is going to be about a student with a dark destiny whose fatalistic attitude is shaken when it looks like his friend might also be threatened. This is going to be produced and animated by production studio 4C, 4 degrees Celsius. You have the entire crew of that studio behind this one. I'm looking forward to this one the most out of all four. 4 degrees Celsius has put out some amazing work in the past. I'm loving the dark feel you're already getting just from the poster. And of course, it's funny that we still have a year to go before these even make its way to be released in theaters. Hopefully, like the 2013 releases for Anime Mirai, that these will be available on YouTube, usually within about a week or so after their official release in Japan. And this is a really good way not only for Japanese government to keep the anime industry alive, but also to find new talent that could possibly spearhead some really cool, soon-to-be incredibly popular series in the future. I think it's amazing. You don't see something like this that's supported by the government. I mean, our government in the United States kind of blows because they can't even pay their own bills, but we're not going to get into politics here. But I give props to the Japanese government for working on this, and I gotta say, these 4 titles for next year's Anime Mirai look very unique and interesting. As a side note, I do have to make a mention that Nitro Plus, they've created a bunch of great games throughout the years, and they've always had their mascot, Super Sonico. Well, she is no longer just going to be the mascot. It's already been announced that Nitro Plus's mascot character will be getting her own anime series. Some of the staff and cast have been announced finally. Looks like Studio White Fox is actually going to handle the production for the series. And to give you an idea of what they can work on, they were the production company behind Steins Gate. So the thing is, Sonico isn't really what you call dark and mysterious. It's going to be an exact opposite of what Steins Gate was. So we'll see what White Fox can do. Kenichi Kawamura is actually going to be the director of this. He's actually worked on several series over at Madhouse. You have the scriptwriter from Excel Saga and Tenchi Muyo working on this series. And the head animation director is the same person who worked on Strike Witches and also going to be the character designer. So, if anything, It's going to look nice. It's going to have let's just call it ample animation. Let's just call it that. Good way to call it. Moving on. I was talking about this a little bit in pre-show, but you guys can actually grab this right now. They're the latest newcomer to the anime, or the official anime streaming party, I guess you can call it, is called Daisuke. They're actually backed by several animation companies in Japan. This is a direct feed from Japan that they're going to go through this company. They'll still go through, Funimation, Viz, Crunchyroll, etc., etc. But this will also be a way for them to go through using Japanese companies rather than American companies. So you have another option. And for the longest time, it's only been available online. They've actually had some decent content already. Some exclusives here and there, especially the Monogatari series, that you can watch it there first, and then like a week or so later, it's available on Crunchyroll. But they finally made the announcement, and it is available right now. If you go on the iOS App Store, you can do a search for Daisuke and download their free iPad app. Now, to register for an account, it is absolutely free. It just takes a couple minutes, ask for an email address, and bam, you're ready to go. So not only can you watch Crunchyroll, Funimation, and a couple others on your iPad, but now you can add Daisuke streams to that as well. They also made the announcement they are going to be launching what they're calling Daisuke TV. This is essentially going to be small segments about culture, music, fashion, and exclusive content that will give anime fans unique access to the creators of their favorite series and movies. Yeah, okay, I will be looking into this. Some of the first offerings are actually videos from the musical act Jam Project. There's a message from the Sword Art Online cast, and a few others. You guys want to check that out. These are all available for free on Daisuke's website, or you can download the Daisuke app in the App Store. No word yet if this is actually going to be available for Android users in the future. Right now, it is currently only available to iOS users, specifically for iPad. So those who are rocking the Android, gotta wait a little bit longer. Sorry about that. Moving on to some manga news, and this is going to be a big one. Attack on Titan has to be the runaway success of the summer season. I mean, 25 episodes so far. They won't confirm if there's more. There has to be more. But it doesn't have to be more in the sense of the anime. I've actually been recently reading the manga, and the manga is way, way better in terms of the storyline. Animation-wise, or design-wise, I kind of like the anime better, but story-wise, manga is second to none. But the manga is going to have some competition. Let's call it that. First up, Kodansha made the announcement of 2 guidebooks named Inside and Outside. These are going to be the quote-unquote definitive guide to the secrets of the Attack on Titan universe. These are like over 400 pages long, so when you want to talk in depth, that's what you're going to get. The little bit in the corner you see there of the Titan head, that's actually Titan papercraft, where you can actually pull that out, fold it up, and actually create your own Titan head. You can place it anywhere you want. These are actually coming out in June of next year, but these are just guidebooks. Well, what about manga? We have some good ones for you. Let's start off with, let's go with this one. There is going to be 3 spin-off manga series for Attack on Titan coming out next year. Starting off with Before the Fall. This is going to be a prequel manga using content from the light novels. And this is going to be delving into Captain Levy's dark past. His first encounter with the Survey Corps. Probably his first instances with Titans. I'm really curious to see how this is going to work out. I'm sure all the fangirls are going to go freaking crazy for it. There is another one called Before the Fall. Now, this one is set 70 years before the anime even started. Even before the fall of Wall Maria. So this is basically going to talk about how humanity learned how to not necessarily fight, but also deal with the Titans, how the maneuvering gear was created. This looks kind of interesting. But you know what? That's not it. They wanted to go a little lighthearted on this third spin-off. I have to show this. It's Attack on Titan, Titan Junior High. Eren, Mikasa, and Armin are off to junior high school. Yes, they're taking the entire series. They're going to take all of the characters that you know and love, throw them in chibi form, and yeah, throw them in junior high, slice of life comedy. So we go from death and destruction to slice of life comedy. I swear this is an Ava spinoff somewhere. These are going to be pretty long. They're going to be in omnibus editions, like 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 format, so 400 plus pages. So I'm not sure what to expect from this one, but the other two could be interesting. Who knows? I just saw in the chat from Kathy the Goth. Mentions that Mikasa, or Mikasa, if you spell a little differently, but you say it the same, Mikasa means house in Spanish. I think it was, who was it? It was a voice actress that popped online and basically made the really bad joke of Mikasa is Sukasa. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. Oh, but moving on. Let's talk about NIS America. They've been bringing out some decent releases at really good prices over the past few months, and looks like they're going to continue the trend. Let's just want to talk about this real quick. Anohana, the flower we saw that day, also known as the tearjerker of the year. Oh my god, if you're having a bad day, don't watch this series. Don't marathon this series. If you are having a great day, don't marathon this series because it'll turn into a bad day. This is definitely a tearjerker series. But NIS America is bringing the complete series in what they're calling a standard edition. The end of this month, October 29th. If you want to pick it up either on 2 DVDs or 2 Blu-rays, you're looking for about $60. $60 for an entire series, plus bonus features. If you wanted to pick up the premium edition, it is a little bit more, but honestly, that's just a bunch of physical extras. All of the on-disc bonus features are exactly the same, whether you buy the standard edition or the premium edition. If you have not watched this series yet, go watch it on Crunchyroll. Go watch a couple episodes. Make sure you're able to get some tissues nearby. That's all I can say about it. It is a tearjerker, but it is a really good series, and it's available the end of this month from NIS America, probably on Amazon and Right Stuff for about $60, if not cheaper. Really good deal for DVD or Blu-ray. I think it's a fantastic deal. All right, let's jump into video games because there is a lot to cover. And first off, we have a new trailer for Aquapazza. This is actually a 2D fighter from Aqua Plus, and it features a number of characters from a number of series you've probably heard of before. I'm just going to throw the trailer out there and you might enjoy this one. So I've talked about this series before, this game before, I should say, and it's not that uncommon to see games like this being released in Japan. The nice bit about this one is that we know for a fact it's available, as you saw at the end of that video. It'll be hitting the PlayStation Network for PlayStation 3 in North America this upcoming November 19th. It will be priced at $29.99. Most likely it's going to be just a download only version. Who knows, Atlas may release a physical version. If that's the case, hey look, I'll pick up the physical version on that one. So yeah, it's really great to see some of these games start to make its way stateside. Well, there's another one that it hasn't even been released in Japan yet that's creating such a stir over in the States. I'm hoping the companies behind it realize this and therefore bring this one over stateside as well. I'm talking about Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. And this features a number of characters from a slew of anime titles decking out in a 2D fighter that looks amazing. They released a new trailer showcasing 6 characters that you can actually play. The game itself was actually recently demoed in Japan, and a number of people have played it, and they The initial review is fantastic. More characters, and oh, why is it not out yet? So go ahead and enjoy this trailer for Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. Looks good. Looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for it. Now, like I said, we've talked about this series before of this game, that even though it's initially going to be an arcade game in Japan, a console version has been greenlit. No word yet on when that comes out, but I'm really hoping, given the fact that it's been so hyped online, not only in Japan but also here in the States and all over the world, that I really hope that eventually there is going to be a international release of this. If anything, maybe some of the local arcade places can actually pick up the the arcade system for thousands of dollars in import fees. I know a few local arcades in the Southern California area actually have imported the Project Diva arcade system, and I still need to go to one of them and at least play that and try it in person. But moving on to a company that I never thought I would actually mention during AniBreak, and that is Disney. Disney recently held the Japan version of their D23 Expo, and they had a number of announcements. That's right, we finally have, I would call it pre-alpha footage of Kingdom Hearts 3, just showcasing how far Square Enix has gotten in the development. Now, don't expect Kingdom Hearts 3 for quite some time. For starters, it's not going to be available on current consoles as far as I can tell. Everything is pointing towards next generation. They specifically said PlayStation 4. So now you need to get a PlayStation 4 in order to play. I also mean Xbox One, but let's just face it, you're going to get a PlayStation 4. Some lighter news real quick. Yeah, there's a new art book that's going to be coming out in December in Japan that I think a number of you will probably want to import, because let's face it, not only are art books awesome, but this one person in general needs, yeah. Red Juice is the name of the artist. Before becoming incredibly popular in terms of the just artwork, he used to be designing and maintaining cold storage equipment. We're all very happy that the career change is well appreciated, let's just say that. Red Juice's first art book is going to be released this December in Japan. The art book will feature well over 100 illustrations from projects across his varied career, everything including the Supercell illustration for The World Is Mine, the jacket that he created for the Livetunes repackage. You also have character designs for that series Guilty Crown, illustrations for Satoshi Hase's novel Beatless, some dojin that we'll not get into on that one. But yeah, this is going to be Red Juice's first art book. I'm looking to see where this is going to be available. Yeah, you're looking at 192 pages. You're looking at about a little under 4,000 yen, so about $40 to $45 before shipping. Or if you just know anybody in Japan, you kind of need to go get that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Okay. As a side bit, we've talked a little bit about Kyokai no Kanata, or Beyond the Boundary. It's only the first 2 episodes are available right now. People are kind of split on it. One side, people are very happy that Kiyoane is going back to making Moy Blobs, but they're also throwing in everything they've learned from working on Free, so kind of a combination of the two. Not surprising that a slew of marketing and merchandise materials are starting to make its way online. One that caught my eye was, of course, Homura. Not Homura's. The main character, Murai, sorry. She has her red glasses, so, I mean, you can easily get them. You can buy them online. These are the official ones. They can be used for just cosplay, add-on, or if you really wanted to, you can actually put in corrective lenses. They can be used every single day. So makes me wonder, glasses, well, I already have the pink wig. Maybe I could do this for a crossplay in the future. This may work, maybe not. Who knows? We could see what happens in the future. Considering these are not going to come out until next February, and they're going to be about $70, I may just find a pair of regular red glasses, red frames. Who knows what could happen in the future. The final bit of news is that Kotobukiya. Kotobukiya. You love to tease us with pre-orders and designs and prototypes and just make us spend all of our money. And honestly, they're nowhere near done doing that. We already know that the company Wing already released their prototype for Sword Art Online's Lifa. Well, you know what? Kotobukiya has to do one as well. And honestly, I think they one-upped them. One-upped them in a massive way. So this is the prototype for the upcoming figure. We have no idea when this one is going to be available. I'm sure that once the pre-orders start, there will also be a full painted version as well. But this one looks incredible. Yeah. That may have to add to my collection sometime next year. If things usually work out, if they're showcasing the prototype now, usually about a month from now, they'll showcase the painted version, and then probably maybe a month after that, they'll start the pre-orders, and then about 6 months after that is when the figure itself actually comes out. So, got some time to save up for this one. Well, it has been an absolute blast. It has been an extended episode of AniBreak. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out. You guys hang out every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. for all your latest news in anime, manga, and video games. Stay tuned for post-show, and also a reminder, on Sunday is another episode of From My Mother's Basement with my good friend Michael Underwood. Have no idea what to expect, but it should be enjoyable nonetheless. So until then, for AniBreak, I'm Jason. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy.